Hey, good morning, California. Time for a little more coffee and news. Mm. As everybody's heard by now, Los Angeles is uh, is burning. There's a lot of devastation there. My heart goes out to all my family members and friends in the old city that I grew up. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, Mahalo Hosting. Mahalo Hosting offers competitive rates for domain names and web hosting. Why register a star in your name when your name can be your domain? Mahalo Hosting also offers custom high-level domains like .photography, .club, .us, and .tv. Visit www.mahalohosting.com today. Why Newsom invited Trump to visit LA fire zones amid worries he'll block disaster aid. This is from Cal Matters, a left-leaning rag. So let's go this route. Let's see what it says. After days of sniping back and forth with President-elect Donald Trump over California's handling of the fires ravaging Los Angeles, Governor Gavin Newsom today invited the incoming Republican president to visit the state and survey the damage. The Democratic governor signed his public overture with respect and an open hand, but he also included praise for outgoing President Joe Biden and implicit criticism of Trump's early handling of the tragedy. Just real quick, Governor Newsom, it wasn't up to him to handle the tragedy. It was up to you and the mayor to handle the tragedy. That's where the criticism's coming from. The neglect that you guys and continue to dodge. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Reflecting the tricky balance between cooperation and controlling the narrative. Controlling the narrative. This is what you're worried about. Your sensitive ego. You mishandled this whole thing. So there's no misinformation in this, and this will say a little bit in the future. Yeah, I cheated a little bit. I went forward with it. I read a little bit of it because I thought it was interesting. So reflecting the tricky balance between cooperation and controlling the narrative that Newsom is trying to maintain as he seeks help from his biggest political nemesis to address one of the worst disasters in California history. Here's what he goes on to say, quote, in the spirit of this great country, we must not politicize. This is the first thing he did was politicize. And there's a tweet out there that actually proves the timeline. And again, just like always, I will leave the links in the comment section, or not in the comment section, but in the description. In the spirit of this great country, must not politicize human tragedy or spread disinformation from the sidelines. Newsom wrote. I'll include that link in this letter. Also shared on social media, hundreds of thousands of Americans displaced from their homes and fearful for the future deserve to see all of us working in their best interest to ensure the fast recovery and rebuild. And you weren't thinking of that when everybody was telling you about all this stuff back in 2018. Yeah, right. Okay. And by the way, these are all the policies that you guys put in place. This is all the policies that our legislature in the California Senate put together. Try not to get emotional about this. Got a lot of friends and family that still live down there, and I'm a little beside myself. I'm fit to be tied at the moment. Anyways, continuing on. Since Tuesday, when a series of fires driven by hurricane force winds began breaking out across the Los Angeles region, Trump has repeatedly blasted Newsom on other California leaders online from mismanaging the state's water and called on Newsom to resign, which is not a bad option. Frustrations that some fire hydrants ran dry. This is, I believe it was the San Ynez Reservoir was completely empty. Completely ample. Freudian slip. Not enough coffee. This crews battle a massive blaze in the Pacific Palisades. A failure that Newsom on Friday ordered the state to investigate has underpinned much of the criticism. right? There you go. The hostile rhetoric has raised fears that Trump may follow through on earlier threats to withhold disaster aid from California unless the state overhauls its water policy by allowing more supply to flow to the south to Central Valley farmers and Southern California. That would make it substantially more costly for the state to recover from the Los Angeles fires, which are already estimated to have caused economic losses of more than 50 billion. Here's the problem. For over the last 20 years, I'm born and raised here in California, and I've been ever since probably elementary school, we have always had a quote unquote drought problem in the state. Little did I know, as young Vince ran around and played kickball, that this was basically a way of California politics or politicians uh, to control the citizens and charge higher than normal prices for something that is considered essential for life. They keep dumping stuff out so they can continue to have some sort of tragedy so that the government must come and save. This seems to be the going theme when it comes to governments and policies. Again, I don't pretend to be the most brilliant of political savvy individual. I'm just looking at it from a regular point of view, from the regular Joe point of view, and just realizing how fucked up we, the people, have made our situation here in California. We're in a downward toilet spiral, and yet we continue to fucking allow these assholes to be in an office. I apologize about that pause there. Just trying to gain my composure because I get so worked up about this. Former Trump administration officials told Politico last fall the president-elect was flagrantly political with disaster funding during his first term. Trump reportedly withheld approval for aid related to California's 2018 wildfires because of the state's Democratic leanings until aids. This is bullshit too, right? President Trump knew that all of this stuff, the forest floors needed to be cleaned up, the fire lanes needed to be burned in, water needed to be delivered to Southern California back in 2018. He was addressing and I'll look for the link for that particular article. He was addressing the fact that in 2018 that our government was ignoring all of this stuff. This is why this came about. So shame on you, Cal Matters, for twisting the truth. Affected areas had voted for him. Trump reportedly withheld approval for aid related to California's 2018 wildfire because of the state's Democratic leanings until aides showed him that many of the residents of the affected areas had voted for him. On the campaign trail last year, he vowed that if the governor didn't agree to divert more money to farms, we won't give him money to put out all his fires. The Trump transition team did not immediately respond to an inquiry about Newsom's invitation to visit because Biden was already issued a major disaster declaration for Los Angeles fires, unlocking critical aid for the response and recovery. Trump could try to punish California by reversing the order. I think that's going to be highly unlikely. I think what he'll probably end up doing is opening up additional aid for all of those people that in Lahaina, things that the support that the Biden administration didn't give where was that town where the train wreck was that spilled out. I forgot the name of that town. Shame on me. But I'm hoping that Trump, and of course this is totally just straight up just conjecture. Hope I'm using that word right. Trump could try to punish California. I think he would probably go to help all the hurricane disasters in North Carolina and Tennessee and all those affected, just opening up the floodgates of money to help all of the people in the United States. That would be, and President Trump is classy enough to where he'd make that happen, and also helping people here in LA. That would be an unprecedented move that would almost certainly be challenged in court, said Daniel Farber, a law professor at UC Berkeley. You know, Daniel Farber can go fuck off, in my opinion. I don't even know who the guy is, and he can just go fuck off. Everybody's got their 2 cents. Remember, everybody's got their opinion, you know, and you know what they say about opinions. They're like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink. Federal law gives sitting president the power to issue a disaster declaration. Right, sitting president, right? So Donald Trump is not a sitting president. He's the president-elect. We just have a few short days until he gets sworn into office. But does not spell out if he can retract one, Farber said. I don't think that ever occurred to Congress that would be an issue. He noted that the statute's purpose was to dispense disaster aid orderly and efficiently, just like you guys did in this article. All right, let's just adjust this, put this into frame, right? Control. FEMA fires employee who told workers to avoid homes with Trump signs after hurricane. And there's all kinds of articles about that. So this guy is basically the pot calling the kettle black. Let's increase this again. Oh, wrong way. Let's make some adjustments. All right. Federal law gives the sitting president power to issue disaster orderly and efficiently. Yeah, right. So a president reversing a previous administration declaration would really undermine the whole premise. I think there is no back seats, Farber said. No back. Who? And you mean no backseats? Not back seats. What the hell are you talking about? Farber said. But Trump could still slow walk how the Federal Emergency Management Agency distributed funds. That's something he did in the first term after Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico in 2017. A 2021 federal report found the Trump administration delayed $20 billion in disaster aid to the island. This is the first I've heard of this, so I've got no opinions. However, I will leave a link in that report for that report in the description. He could definitely let FEMA know to drag their feet, Farber said. You say they are dragging their feet deliberately for political reasons, and they just say, no, we are doing the best we can. There's a lot of paperwork. Newsom sickens me to the core. Newsom and his administration have pushed back with increased vehemence against accusations from Trump and other prominent Republicans that lack of viable water, poor vegetation management, and bureaucratic incompetence are to blame for Los Angeles fires. On video call with Biden on Friday morning, Newsom lamented the hurricane-force winds of mis- and disinformation lies that people want to divide this country, which he said were damaging California's response efforts. Fuck, what a douchebag. We've got to deal with this misinformation, he said, because he's worried about his fucking ego. And he still believes he's still got a chance in the 2028. I don't know. The rest of the U.S. is looking at you, Mr. Newsom. You've kind of fucked up along with your Mayor Karen Bass, right? This is what DEI and all of that nonsense you guys are pushing and your stupid ass policies. All your policies are rooted in Marxism and control, more government, right? However, people are starting to get wise, just like everything else. You just mismanage the shit out of everything. A few hours later, in an email to political supporters, Newsom explicitly called out Trump and his allies for their politically motivated lies about their fires, which sickens me to the core, he wrote. Yeah. His letter to Trump, released not long after, was far softer. Newsom invoked their joint visits to Paradise and Malibu in 2018 to tour the devastation from the deadly Camp and Woolsey fires. Yeah, that was the time when he warned them back in 2018. You got to open up the water, clean up the floors. Critics of Trump made fun of him. Oh, like, we're going to clean. Yeah, there is a forest floor, dumbasses. All right, let's go. As you prepare to assume the presidency once more, I invite you to come to California again to meet with the Americans affected by these fires, see the devastation firsthand, and join me and others in thanking the heroic firefighters and first responders who are putting their lives on the line, Newsom wrote. But Bob Saladay, a spokesperson for the governor, said the invitation was not an attempt to reset the relationship, nor would Newsom soft pedal his criticism about Trump's behavior. Oh, yeah, no, they're looking for $25 million to Trump proof California still. Remember, DEI, drug addicts, and illegal immigration is that's the focus for the gubernatorial, this gubernatorial term. It's not a binary choice, Saladay said in a text message. We will have to engage with the Trump administration. He's going to be the president. No shit. You think, Captain Obvious? As for the letter, we would like to see the president-elect out here to show some compassion and interest in the people of California and Los Angeles. The same compassion that Governor Newsom and Karen Bass showed to their constituents. You know, ignoring problems and sticking your head in the sand and stealing money and funneling money from your taxpayers doesn't show any fucking compassion. Nothing more than that, his response will speak volumes. State Senator Roger Niello, a Roseville Republican, suggested that California GOP could help Newsom navigate the complicated dynamics with the Trump administration, although he said the governor has yet to ask. Though we're in the minority, we do have a number of Republican legislators who have a relationship with Republicans in Washington, D.C., Niello said, to the extent that there are any challenges there, to the extent that we have common approach toward things, we could assist. Yeah, haven't heard anything in the news regarding the 2018 saying that or supporting this statement regarding Newsom's negligence in cleaning up and prepping for disasters. That's the whole purpose of being a governor and a leader, and he's completely missed the boat on it. Anyway, so that was from Cal Matters. I may follow up with something from the other side and see what they have to say. But right now, I think I don't care if you're blue. If you're in California, if you're blue or red, I think you have a lot of disdain towards the leadership or the lack of leadership that's been presented here in California. All right, shameless plug time. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you guys noticed my camera setup is a little bit different, but simping ain't easy. 12 steps to embracing common sense and rejecting stupidity. It's on all platforms. Just click the QR code. Let's see if I do this right. Is it that way? Nope, it's the other way. It's that way. Click on the QR code. It'll take you right to Amazon. Get a copy for yourself and the simp in your life. Vince Gervasi out. Love you, mean it.